Hello, YouTube subscribers, and hello, Facebook. This is your Michigan fan, Harry Bryant, again with a post-game video, and actually the second one of the year. The first one, I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when Michigan played at home against New Mexico, and I made a post-game video, but I haven't yet posted it, so I will post that video as soon as I get done posting this one, so that way you can have my reaction as far as the first game when Michigan faced New Mexico. Well, y'all, I don't know what to tell you as a Michigan fan. I'm practically very disappointed in our offense. I know it's a team effort, but I am very disappointed in the offense and particularly disappointed in our secondary on the defense. On the defense, our pass defense just wasn't cutting it. They just couldn't get the job done tonight. The Oklahoma quarterback, Mateer, the guy's just freaking good. And he been with the program, I think, for the past 2 or 3 years, and he played under somebody else before he eventually became starter for the Sooners, and it showed that he had poise. And Mateer, he made some great throws. He has better wide receivers. I hate to say that as a Michigan fan, but Oklahoma had better wide receivers, and they was just in the right places to get the ball. Mateer, he did a good job tonight, Oklahoma. And let me say, first of all, congratulations to Oklahoma for their win tonight. It sucks to lose on the road, but at the same time, it's part of the game. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. Sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to lose games. And tonight was definitely a heartbreaker. But to be honest with you, I marked Michigan losing this game before the season begun because I knew Oklahoma was going to be a tough test. And this was Michigan's first road game in week 2. And normally Michigan don't play on the road that early. You know, they wait until probably the Big Ten schedule. And then that's when Michigan starts to play away games. But Michigan had to play on the road in week 2, and it was a very tall task to play against a rowdy crowd with Oklahoma Sooner fans, and to have a yet proven quarterback in Bryce Underwood. Bryce Underwood, under the circumstances, to be fair to Bryce Underwood, he was very severely handcuffed by the OC and Chip Lindsey. Chip Lindsey handcuffed Bryce Underwood throughout most of the entire game. It just seemed like the same plays, run the ball, first down, run the ball, second down, run the ball, third down, run the ball, and then punt. And it was just the same plays over and over. And if Bryce do throw the ball, it'd be a screen pass, and really it didn't help Michigan offensively because it's either Michigan might gain maybe 2 yards or they might lose yards by doing the screen pass. So, yeah, it was practically a disappointing night for the offense. And the offensive line really, they did it best, but this is not the offensive line that Michigan was accustomed to under Jim Harbaugh. This offensive line needs work. And it really didn't help matters that our main offensive lineman, El Hadi, got hurt. And now we don't know how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully he'll be ready for next week. Even though it's going to be against an easier opponent, we need all hands on deck for now on. And let me just go over the statistics. But before I do that, the 3 players that I say was the star of Michigan tonight, Bryce Underwood, because it's his second game as the quarterback of Michigan, and this is his first true road game. And he really was poised. I mean, he didn't complete all of his throws, but at the same time, he was definitely poised. I mean, he wasn't shaken up or anything like that because of the pressure. He really, under circumstances, he did a pretty good job tonight. And you have to really look at it from a glass half empty, half full type of perspective, I mean. Bryce Underwood under pressure, he was pretty poised tonight. And the second guy I can say was really the star of the show was definitely Justice Hayes. In the second half, Michigan got the ball, and this dude ran for 75 yards for the touchdown. I was like, Justice Hayes did that? So I was very happy to see that because Michigan needed to score bad. Michigan needed that touchdown in a very, very bad way. And Justice Hayes ran for that 75 yards, returned the ball, and scored the touchdown. And that really kind of, made Michigan feel hopeful. But at the end of the day, it didn't help. Michigan still failed. And then the last person is the star of tonight's game was our punt kicker, Dominic Zavada. Dude is like another Jay Moody. I mean, we know he missed the kick, but he made more than what he missed. And so those the three guys that I can say was really the stars of Michigan's team was those three players. So let me go over the statistics real quick. Bryce Underwood, he threw 24 passes, 9 was caught, a total of 142 yards in the air, 0 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Justice Hayes was the guy that scored the touchdown for Michigan. He carried the ball 19 times, a total of 125 yards, 1 touchdown, and the longest yard he carried the ball was that kick return was 75 yards. Jordan Marshall, he had a total of 9 carries, total of 28 yards. So really, Jordan Marshall really wasn't that effective, and that's due because the O-line just couldn't make a hole for Jordan Marshall. But I think he's gonna get better. I mean, he just wasn't good enough tonight, but he's gonna get better. And Donovan McCulley, our wide receiver, but he got some rushing yards too. Well, really not, because he had a -6 in total yards. So yeah, that's not good. So now John Mateer, the quarterback for Oklahoma, this dude lit it up tonight. He threw the ball 34 times. He made 34 attempts. 21 of those passes was caught. Total of 270 yards in the air, 1 touchdown, but he did throw 1 pick. But other than that, there's really nothing to write home to. I mean, as far as Michigan's performance tonight. Now, I got a bone to pick with one guy in particular, and that's the OC of Michigan, Chip Lindsey. I don't know what he was thinking about with his sorry offensive play calls. They suck. And then when it came to 4th and probably 1 and 2, and I'll put that on Sherrone Moore because he's the head coach, they didn't want to go for it. They didn't want to take any chances. They played it safe. They didn't want to take that chance, and they played it safe. Now, okay, we all understand. If it works, he's a genius. If it doesn't work, then he's practically dumb. So it's kind of like darn if you do, darn if you don't. But anyway, Chip Lindsey, come on, dude. Really? The same freaking plays. Run the ball, 1st down. 2nd down, run the ball. 3rd down, run the ball. And then punt the ball in 4th. 4th down, punt the ball. Get the ball back. The problem that I got with you, Chip, was not just with your offensive play calls, but with the fact that you handcuffed Bryce Underwood. The man couldn't play his game because you handcuffed him. So that's my bone to pick. Was with Chip Lindsey. Chip Lindsey better do better. Luckily, we got an easier opponent next Saturday at home. But this would have been a huge statement if Michigan would have won that game on the road against a ranked team in Oklahoma, an SEC team. This would have been a huge statement for Michigan, but I knew Michigan was going to lose this game. I knew Michigan was going to lose. Come on now. I knew they was going to lose. Matter of fact, I predicted Michigan was going to be 10-2 before the season's done, the regular season. I predicted Michigan to be at least 10-2. But I think our second loss is going to be against a USC team. And Michigan got to travel to Southern California to play the USC Trojans. And I think that's going to be Michigan's second loss. But I don't think Michigan going to lose any more games than that. But, yeah, tonight was not a good night for Michigan. But I'm still proud of my team. I'm still proud of their effort. And the part that I'm really looking at Bryce Underwood is when he was on the sideline and him and Justice Hayes got into a dispute, and it was on national TV, and those two really got into it, and some of the teammates had to kind of get in between them because they was chirping at each other. But at the same time, when I saw that, I'm like, Bryce, he's a freshman. But this dude looks like he's a freaking leader. And I mean, I might be the only one to say that, but when I saw Bryce Underwood and the way he was on the sidelines, he looked like a freaking leader. And he's a freshman. Just imagine if he got another year, just wait till he gets to his third year. If he decides to stay with Michigan. That dude is going to be a Heisman winner. And I see that written all over Bryce. I see that written all over him and Justice Hayes. But at the end of the day, those two, they shook hands. Hey, things happen. You know, when things is not going your way, of course, there's going to be some bickering among the teammates. You know, it's love, but it's a strange kind of love. You know, it's a love like you're a family. Okay, families, they argue with each other. Families, they fight. But at the end of the day, they still family. And they still love each other. And they still battle with one another on the battlefield. And that's exactly what Bryce Underwood did. And so is Justice Hayes. Those two, they shook hands, squashed whatever beef they had, which it really wasn't beef. It was just a little, chirping going on out of frustration. And yeah, it was frustrating tonight if you, if you're the Michigan's offense and defense. It was a very frustrating night. But I know it's going to be a lot of Buckeye fans going to be on there talking trash. But, hey, it's all fair. It's all fair game. You know, when you win, you got bragging rights. When you lose, you're going to get trolled. And so tonight, we lost, and so we're going to get trolled. And that's just where it goes. That's the nature of the beast. But I'm proud of my team. Would I wish Michigan would have performed better tonight? Yeah, I wish they would have performed better. But, there's hope. And if I could take one positive thing away from tonight, was seeing Bryce Underwood and seeing how he was so poised in the pocket. He was on the road for the first time playing first QB with Michigan. And this man played like that. Now, was he perfect? No. Did he miss some throws? Oh, absolutely he did. But the fact of the matter was he was poised on the road in hostile territory, and he was poised. And that's all you can ask for. He was poised. He wasn't flustered. He wasn't shaken up in fear. The occasion was not bigger than him. He was focused. He was keyed in. And that's all you can ask for from a freshman. That's just making his second start as QB1. You can't ask for anything better than that, man. Now, we got some injuries. We got some huge injuries. Hopefully it's not serious. Hopefully they can be ready for next week's game. Knowing that Sharon Moore is not going to be coaching that game next Saturday or the Saturday after that, because he's suspended for 2 games due to this whole sign stealing thing that the University of Michigan imposed on Sharon Moore. So I don't know who's going to take over the head coaching duties. I don't know if the offensive coordinator got to do double duty or Wink Martindale got to do double duty or somebody else. But we got to get ready. I mean, next week's opponent, let me see who Michigan played next week. Let me see who Michigan played next week. Central Michigan. Michigan got to play. Yep, Central Michigan. And then the week after that, on the road against the first Big Ten team of the year, and that's Nebraska Cornhuskers. And Nebraska is not going to be a pushover because Nebraska improved a lot this year with the recruits that they gotten. And then we got to play at their house. So Nebraska is not going to be a pushover. So that's going to be a tough test for Michigan as well. So, thus saying that, Michigan needs to do better when it comes to how they execute. The offensive line, they need to do better to keep Bryce clean, to keep him upright. The offensive line need to do better. Chip Lindsey, you need to do better when you doing calling plays. You gotta do better, man, because tonight you sucked. You sucked when it comes to play calling tonight. I was shaking my head throughout the whole entire game like, look, this dude here. This dude keep calling the same plays. Like Oklahoma don't know better. Come on. Every time Michigan try to run with the ball, they stop Michigan. Because they already prepared for the run. You gotta learn how to mix it up a little bit. Keep the defense on the other teams guessing what plays you're gonna play. Keep them guessing. Stop running the same plays. And you think that they're not gonna know what play you're gonna do next? Cause you keep running the same plays, keep calling the same play calls? You think they're not gonna pick up on that? Oh yeah, they picked up on it. So yeah, Chip Lindsey, you gotta do a better job. And if you continue to keep doing what you're doing, you're going to find yourself out the door after the end of the year, and you're going to find a new job somewhere else, and then Michigan going to have to search for another offensive coordinator that knows what the heck they're doing and knows how to utilize Bryce Underwood. We got a generational quarterback, and we don't need somebody like him to mess it up for us, and that man want to jump into the portal and go somewhere else because our OC is a freaking joke. This got to stop, man. It's either you going to utilize him better or one or two things is going to happen. It's either you going to be out the door or Bryce Underwood going to be out the door because he going to want to get into a transfer portal and go somewhere else. And I don't want the second option. We need Bryce Underwood to stay in Ann Arbor. If we have any chance of winning the more Big Ten championships, or even making the playoffs, we need Bryce Underwood to stay in Ann Arbor and complete his 3 years before he decides to go to the NFL draft. So that's my little rant. Far as the offense. Defense, our secondary is banged up. We don't have a pass defense. They couldn't stop Oklahoma's air attack for nothing. It's like no matter what throws that John Mateer throws, he always finds his target because there's no defender on his target. And they catch the ball for a big, huge chunk of yards. That's a problem. If you cannot stop the passing game, that's a problem. You can stop the run all day, but if you can't stop the pass, that's a problem. And every team is going to pick up on that Michigan got to face the rest of the season. And they're going to know that Michigan cannot stop the pass. And they're going to use that every freaking time. So, yeah, Michigan lost their first game of the year. But it wasn't against the nobody. It was against Oklahoma, ranked 18th. So I'm imagining Tuesday the rankings gonna come out. Michigan might fall out of the top 25. Oklahoma might go to 17 or 16. Who knows? But season's not over. It's just second game. So Michigan got 10 games left on their schedule. And from here until we meet Ohio, Michigan got time to improve. Michigan got time, so that's the good news. So I'm going to end this video tonight. And the only thing I got to say is, Michigan got some work to do. Michigan got to polish some things up. Michigan got to tidy some things up. The offensive coordinator got to come up with better schemes because the schemes he came up with tonight wasn't working. And Oklahoma picked up on that real fast. And we got to get our players healthy and get them ready for next week. So, I was not satisfied with Michigan's performance tonight, but I am hopeful with Bryce Underwood that Michigan is going to make some noise. So, until then, if you like my video, hit the like button, hit the share, and support my channel, and I appreciate it. It'll help the algorithm. But anyway, to all my Michigan fans out there, have a good night. Go Blue. As always, go Blue. See you next Saturday. Good night.